Hey, Patrick.
This is a board game show, Patrick, and you know what we have to do on a board game show.
I know what we have to do on a board game show.
We got to play a game. All right, Steve, tell us about the game.
All right, we're going to go do the Envie game. Envie game with Patrick. Patrick's going to have a game in his head, only in his. He's not sharing it with us. You got one?
Yep,
he's got one.
He's got one ready to go. He's already promised he's going to skunk us. What we're going to do is
how well does Gates Dowd know Patrick Leader? That's what I want.
Well, I mean, Gates can participate. You should be able to get it.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, he's going to have a game in mind, and we're going to play kind of like 20 question style, where Verla, BJ, and I will ask questions. We'll pay attention to the chat crew if they're asking questions too. And as we start to narrow down what he's been thinking of, we'll either somebody will get it of us, somebody from the crew, or Patrick will just, say, "Do you give up yet?" And we will. So, Are you set with one in mind, Patrick?
I am all set.
Do you want to ask your traditional first question, BJ?
Yeah, that's right. Envie, a good Cajun word for something, a hankering, a game you really want to play. What's the word that you use up there in Minnesota? Jonesing, hankering.
Let's go with hankering.
Hankering. Okay, good. See, finally, I've got somebody that says hankering because they don't say that in the city. Good. All right. Yes, that's right, Gates. We got the pressure. The pressure is on. All right. First question I always like to ask people is it a competitive or a cooperative game? And I'm going to guess it's competitive.
It is cooperative.
Oh, dang it. Wow. I figured all about the tactical battles. And so it's a cooperative. Now, Berla, that narrows it down a little bit there. All right, Steve, what you got? What's your question?
Did it come out in the last, say, 5 or so years? Or is it older?
Let me check.
Borderline call.
What was you said 5?
5 years?
Did not come out in the last 5 years.
Not in the last 5.
Oh, so we can't guess root then. Okay. No.
Okay.
I do like root a lot. I mean, I'll just play it casually.
I hear good things.
Thomas says, is it Pandemic Season 1?
No.
I
admitted I didn't finish Pandemic
Season 1.
You never finished this broadcast.
I think that's why Thomas guessed, because he was like, oh, he wants to finish it. All right, Berla, what you got? What's your question?
Is it pretty thematic?
I would say so.
Oh, thematic. All right. Does it have an actual cardboard board? Do you play it on a board?
No.
No board.
Okay.
All right, Chat Krewe, just recap. It's a cooperative game, not within the last 5 years. It's thematic, and it does not have a board. Steve?
So card-based?
Yes, it is card-based.
Okay.
Card-based.
Card-based cooperative game. Verla, what you got? You got anything?
Does it play more than 5 people?
No, it does not play more than 5 people.
All right, Chat Krewe. We got some good clues here. It's a 4 or less game, cooperative.
Thematic.
Does it have a theme about islands?
No.
Oh, dang it. Yeah. I was thinking Robinson Crusoe there, Steve.
Dean's thrown out Hanabi.
Ooh.
That's Hanabi.
Okay.
What you got, Steve?
Was it an award winner?
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Let's see.
That'll narrow down. We're not going to use Google to check. We have to use our
Right.
memories.
It does not look like it won any awards.
Okay.
Oh.
So cooperative, older than 5 years, card-based, not board-based.
Mm-hmm.
5 or less.
5 or less.
That's what's throwing me off. It's not board-based. I mean, how many cooperative card games are there out there? All right, Chat Krewe. It's not the Crew, exactly. That would have been a good choice. Have you played the Crew?
I bought it in my blitz to buy a bunch of games before during the lockdown. I have not gotten to the table yet.
Love the Crew. Love the Crew. Really good. And I've had success with playing it with gamers and also just family members that have never played games before. He wants to know if it's an LCG. Ooh, Lord of the Rings. Thematic?
That's a great question. I do like that game. It is not that one.
Marshall wants to know, are there components besides cards? Oh, you know what?
Good question.
Good question. Doesn't have to be a board.
There are components besides cards, yes. They're not a big part of the game, though.
That's a nice hint. Is it an LCG?
No.
I was gonna go Arkham Horror there. Not Arkham Horror. Steve, what you got? Oh, I've got one. If you don't have
Are
one.
are you laying cards kind of in a tableau, or are you playing them more traditionally like cards from your hand?
You are laying them in a tableau. The tableau does not develop any abilities.
Okay.
So there's no engine building to it.
Okay.
But you do
No
lay
engine
in
building.
tableau.
You got something, Verla?
Does it have a space theme?
Does not have a space theme.
Question. Usually theme or designer helps us narrow things.
Yeah, this is a tough one though. Trying to think of a designer of that. Does it have expansions?
It has expansions.
Marshall
Yes.
wants to know if Fantasy Flight published it.
I did not publish it.
No.
Was it on Kickstarter?
Not on Kickstarter. Too early.
Not-
Maybe too early. No, it was around when Kickstarter was around, but not super popular.
Older than 5 years, cooperative card game, no board. It
Not
has
Tiny Epic.
Not Tiny Epic, right? It has not Tiny Epic Galaxies. It
Not a space theme.
Not a space.
Is there
theme.
is it a fantasy theme?
Yes.
Okay.
Card-based fantasy theme. Oh man.
You said co-op. Pure co-op, or is there a trader mechanism? Is there any tension, or is it pure co-op?
Pure co-op.
Pure co-op.
So not Shadows over Camelot, the card game.
I was thinking also like
So
Cutthroat
pure co-op
Caverns or
plays
something
very
like
well
that.
solo.
And you could play it solo. Not an island based, because I was thinking Robinson Crusoe or Friday, one of those two, but both of those are island themes.
I do like both those games.
Yeah.
I like co-op a lot more than my studio would suggest.
Oh, really?
Also a different skill set.
I
So
finally
understand.
won Friday the other day. Oh man,
There you go.
It frustrated me. I didn't realize, Steve, that you really have to thin
Yes.
thin that deck and get rid of all those bad cards.
In Friday?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's yep.
Managing the cards.
I was always trying to, take out the low ones, and then I'm leaving the big ones, and I'm leaving all this bad stuff on my deck. Man, you gotta thin that deck out, man. All right, come on, Chat Krewe, what we got here? You have really stumped them because they are strangely quiet tonight. They've got
quiet.
no guesses here.
They've
So,
disappeared.
Steve, recap what our clues are.
Recap. We
That
have
always
a
helps
co-op
the job.
game, 5 years or older. Back.
Not an award winner.
Not an award winner. We have not isolated where it was, whether it was American or European designer. Aeon's End, coming up from Dean.
No,
Aeon's End?
not Aeon's End.
Card-based. Well, there are some other components. You're laying the cards in a tableau, but it's not an engine builder where you're gaining powers. Does not seem to be board-based. Does it play in less than an hour?
I can definitely get through a game in less than an hour.
It's not Mage
Okay.
Night, then.
No, it's not definitely not Mage Night.
Definitely not Mage Night.
I cannot get through a game of Mage Night in an hour.
Nick is
It's
acknowledging his disadvantage because Starla does not do co-op. We know that.
I
You're
can
a
get
nice
through a
Look
game
at
of
it.
Mage Night up in an hour.
Is it an American publishing company?
It is an American publisher.
Okay. American designer?
It is not an American designer.
Not an American designer.
Is it higher than a 3 on BGG's weight scale?
Oh, is it heavy?
Interesting question.
Ooh, I don't think it is, but let me check. Because the weight is always a complete shock to me. Weight and downtime are two such subjective things. I don't even know why people talk about them.
That's so subjective.
While I'm looking that up, you can hit me.
Oh, I've got a question for you. Is it IP based?
It is not IP based.
Wow.
The weight is below 3.
Below 3.
And we have a fantasy theme, we said.
Medium weight, not a fantasy with no IP. So those games from Cosmo. No, that's a German publisher, so it wouldn't have been that. I was thinking, but they all have boards on them. American publisher.
Gates is stumped too. Oh,
Really? Wow.
Gates. Come on.
Oh, Gates is stumped.
Have you played it with Gates?
I've not played with Gates. I've played it with my wife quite a bit.
Okay. So it can play 2?
Can play 2.
And you say it can go down to solo even?
Yep.
Okay.
Is the box bigger? Oh, sorry, go Steve.
I'm sorry, Verla. Go right ahead.
I was going to say, is the box bigger or smaller than a Ticket to Ride size box?
It is smaller than a Ticket to Ride box.
Wow, I am tapped out. I'm just drawing a blank here. Steve, you got anything? I mean, I'm cooperative game.
Is the designer a name we'd recognize?
Thomas gets it.
Oh, good job,
Nyram.
Thomas.
Oh, wow, that is a good one. You're right. The
Now that
components
threw me. With the fantasy, I was thinking more like high fantasy.
Yeah,
I was
that's
thinking,
fantastic.
orcs and kobolds.
It's a fantasy theme, though. It is. It's that's
It is.
You know, I've never actually played it in person. I've played the app probably
Sure.
100 times,
Yeah.
but never actually played it in person. Does it
I
play as well?
actually
in person?
refuse to play the app because I like the
You like the shuffling?
shuffling. I like the playing out of the cards. I find the game very meditative to play alone. So
Nicely
I don't know
done.
that
I
one.
would have never thought of Nyram in a million years. And I love that game. It's such a good game too. Man. Patrick, well done, man. Well
Thank you.
done.
Thank you.
I'm gonna send Steve and Verla back to the green room so we can close it out. But hey, that was a
guys.
pretty
Good
good
talking
one.
with you,
That was
Patrick.
pretty good on V, huh?
Well
You did a
done.
good job.